dead young. We met online actually as a result of the website, which is, I tell you, that has been really singularly one of the most fulfilling things for me, because I went through about a 10-15 year period where I would go online and look around and I couldn't find too much information on Arthur Rhames.
Very little. I was doing the same thing, Cleve, looking for Arthur on the web, and it's just not there. And when I saw the Arthur Rhames website, I said, this is, glory day. This is what the day we've been waiting for, to make his legacy somehow endure and propagate it and spread the word and get those videos up there and kind of remnants the music that exists. So I was very excited to see that. I sent in a little audio clip of a disc jockey in New York talking about Arthur, and he says, if you haven't heard him, don't wait. Don't wait. How right he was. Oh, it's heartbreaking. And then I got back to looking at some stuff I had in storage, and I found I had this whole, cornucopia of different things, and I thought you might be able to.
That was really great, because I really, when I got this stuff in the email and I started to go through it, I said, wow, this guy actually took the time to save these.
I knew he was
what would be important pieces of, information. And so I spent a little time cleaning them up, and really, these are just like some rough copies that I made, but I spent a bit of time cleaning them up, and because I feel that it's important to have every little bit of this stuff that we can get up on the website. So this morning, actually, because we spoke last week, so this morning as I was getting ready to leave to come out this way to meet with you, it just dawned on me. I said, how can I pass up the opportunity to bring a video camera and really sit down with you? And it would have been insane for me to do that, and I got on the ball and put it all in motion. My car had been kind of sitting out in the back, and typically when my car sits in the back, it gets a little dusty inside, so I went over to the car wash and got all that stuff, packed all that stuff in the car, and I just said, I got to do this the right way.
Well, I'm so glad you did, that we did make contact and that you're doing this, because if there's any way I could convey how special and awesome it was, because everybody's always looking for, the next Hendrix or Coltrane. If those guys aren't around, you have that itch. And Arthur is just such an explosive talent, and to see him go from the saxophone to the guitar to the piano to the saxophone, the guitar, just Rashid Ali or something, and the textures and his ability to improvise on whatever it was, impressions or something, it was just ripping. And all my friends and I were so excited to find somebody like that. Finally, yes, at last, somebody we can glom onto, and being around him was so great, because he had this aura, of the music and his commitment to the music.
Right.
Which he sort of demanded a certain commitment of his listeners too. You couldn't just go there and be drinking beer. I mean, you had to figure out what he was trying to do and trying to say. And he's one of those rare musicians who expressed his personality artistically, but also had an overarching message about life and about music, and the search for something that words can really, it's hard for words to describe, but a greater sort of, for lack of a better word, spiritual understanding, and this quest that all great artists must be on. And certainly Coltrane left us this legacy that allows for no diminishment in that quest. You can't just go out there and play lounge music or whatever. If you're a musician, the muse demands full-time service or none at all. Arthur gave his life to the music and to finding that higher ground, and it overlapped in other areas of life. And my favorite memories of Arthur, besides the street performances, which people are just like, what the heck is that? They're driving down like, wow, baby, I just paid $20 to see some clown at the, Sweet Brim. I wasn't doing that, But I remember one time he was at the Jazz Forum, maybe it was this kid right here, and they were filming for Soundstage, PBS Soundstage, and we were kind of hanging back, and after a while they said, no, you guys better sit up front, there's hardly anyone here, and it should have been packed, and there was enough people knew about him at that point. I felt a little disappointed in the New York jazz community's turnout that night. Should have been more people there. So that's the only thing that disturbed me about that.
Well, I have some great memories, because in the earlier days when we were doing the Jazz Fusion, we were fortunate enough to do some college gigs opening up for Larry Coryell. And we actually opened up for Larry Young at one point. Actually, our first gig was with Larry Young, opening for Larry Young at Fairleigh Dickinson University. And these were college audiences, so the entire auditorium was packed.
Wow.
And we got a chance to walk out on stage and just kind of, you know, release this music that most of these kids up until this point hadn't heard, because we were definitely doing something off the beaten path. So we had a great opportunity with that. I remember those days because it was like the audiences from the first gig through about I guess the fourth or fifth gig. We didn't do a whole lot of them, but we did enough that it kind of built a momentum. The momentum, it was an incredible move from the first one to the last one, because we were getting swarmed, and I mean Arthur would literally get swarmed for his autograph, because it's like, you know.
And I have his autograph right here. I know where that came from. You wanted to touch him, to speak to him, to be a part of his aura. Wherever you're going, I don't know where you're going, but I want to be there with you when you get there, because he was so. Yeah, and I guess energy was awesome. I can't tell this story enough either. It's what happened was that when we were opening for Coryell.
Actually, I do give Larry Coryell a lot of credit, although a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Larry.
Having Arthur open for you and playing guitar took a lot.
You know, that took a lot, and you got to give him some props on that, because he didn't have to tolerate that more than like one gig.
No kidding.
And we did quite a few.
I'm not sure I would have.
Yeah, but I remember after one gig in particular, the audience members were coming up, and they were like, "Why are you guys opening for Coryell?"
Hello.
You know, because he had this double neck guitar, and I mean, he literally just slayed this guitar on stage, and the intensity of the music was at such a place, and then Larry Coryell's 11th House is the next band, and it's like, you know, the
energy level drops off a little, and no slight to Larry Coryell, he's so great.
Yeah, Larry was a great guy. I'll always remember him in a very positive way, just for the fact that he specifically for the fact that he did what he did. And I realized as I look back that he really didn't have to.
He sure did, yeah.
So, and of course, the thing out there is that they always reference Larry as Larry referencing Arthur as the piano player.
Yeah, right. Well, as a piano player, he could certainly sit in with the best of them.